Take a look at the dollar first. Yeah, no, normally it's just the first Friday in the month, regardless of the number of days. So the dollar, let's take a look at it. Came into some key levels, right? Dollar came into some key levels here on the daily, and we're starting to get this retracement, right? Pulling back a bit and see how price responds at the zone that it broke out of, right? As we retrace here and see if we maybe even push back down to this support level that we originally broke through. We'll see how deep this retracement goes, but key levels that we're getting retracement off of. So those dollar pairs that were moving to the downside, some small corrections starting to occur, right? So we'll come down to the 4 and run the fib off the high here, right? Just inside that A boundary on the 4. Okay, so I want to see if we, after this retracement, do we get a push to the upside to take out that A? Okay, then I'll run the sub fib to the upside just to prep, right? We got a 382 off the sub fib. The matching D extension is outside that A boundary. So that would be an alignment for another push to the upside on the dollar at some point, right? So we'll see how deep this retracement goes and then see if we get a turnaround and another push to the upside here. All right, so that's the DXY in a retracement phase right now. And we'll just see how deep that retracement phase goes. All right. So let's start from the top of the hot list. We had the Aussie CAD coming out of the weekend. And here we pushed down, tried to get to that daily support level at 98.18. Didn't quite get there on Sunday, right? And we're still pushing down a little bit today. Okay, we got a bullish cloud ahead on the daily time frame. I mean, a bearish cloud ahead on the daily time frame, right? But we're stalling at the cloud right now. So we'll see if we do get this last push to get to that daily support level before we get that reversal. Come here to the 4. We got a fib running to the upside here, right? That daily support level is at 8.6 retracement. Deep push here, right? Deep push to 8.6 retracement. We'll see if we're able to tap that, right? We may or we may not, right? It'd be lovely if we did from a lower time frame perspective, and we'll get there. But if we flip the fib to the other side and just run it down, right? We got a D extension also in line with that daily support level, right? So that would lend toward another push to the downside, be it now or after a retracement. So we'll watch to see from that perspective there. As we come to the 1, zoom out here, right, on the 1 hour, similar to that 4, that D extension just outside that daily support level, right? We didn't fully get that push down, and we're stalling a little bit here. Okay, so really would love price to hit that D extension, right, and that daily support level to give us that somewhat of a stronger foundation to bounce off of. All right, but the move was here on the 15. Move was here on the 15, the 80-20 scenario, right here. All right, shallow retracement. Price pushed down into the 118-127 zone. We got a small bump yesterday. Came back, nice retracement. Now we're looking to see if we break back to the upside and give us that retracement before we push down to get to the 15-minute D extension, but also that 4-hour and 1 hour D extension as well, right? So we're just ranging right now in this 118-127 zone, okay? So seeing that we're ranging, we want to see, right, all of our confirmations of the cloud, Kumo twist, TK crossover, and price break above that cloud, right? And maybe even potentially break above this resistance level here as confirmation of that move to the upside. All right. So that is, that's where we are, just ranging right now on the Aussie CAD. questions here?
No, sir.
All right. Cool deal. Next on the list was the Aussie NZD, one we've been in for a bit. So, right, last week we got this beautiful move to the downside, right? We were waiting on it. Beautiful move down, finding some support now, trying to turn over and give us a bit of a retracement after the strong push to the downside. Right? We talk about all the time. We like, those strong bearish candles like to take back at least 50% of the move. So we'll see if we get a retracement here, come back and take back some of this bearish candle here. All right, so we'll watch that. But beautiful move to the downside last week. Come here to the 4. And pushed out of that zone. And here you see a bit of a range that's happening here. Right, 50% retracement level. Okay. Down on the 1. We'll come back. And what we'll do here, right? So two ways, right? The longer term swing is coming out of that 118, 127 zone to the downside, right? This was the move from last week. 164 pips ish in our favor. Haven't gotten to the D extension just yet, right? So that's a longer term swing. In the shorter term, right? I'll pull this out. Run the fibs in the direction of price. That price is moving, right? And this was a fresh AB boundary. We got to pull back here. Okay, fresh AB boundary. We got to pull back, right? Potentially looking for a deeper pullback. It may be a higher price to then get short. Okay. So now as we come down to the 15, I'm going to run those fibs in the same direction off the high. Right. And here was the setup from the weekly ritual, 80-20 on the 15, right? Taking back some of that bearish move that we talked about. Didn't get to that 382, right? Pushed down to the 118 and 127. We're pulling back now, right? Testing this daily support level again for the third time. We'll see if we're able to get another bump to the upside. Okay. Definitely love to see this at least get to that 382, but we'd love to see it even push even deeper, right? To give us a higher price to then get back short. Okay. So something like that. All right. We do have a bullish cloud ahead, but price is moving through the cloud. Right. So we got a little bit of a consolidation here as we retest previous resistance, right? Now acting as support. And we'll see if we get, again, price to turn over and start making those higher highs and higher lows. All right. So this one's ranging a bit too. We did get that nice push out of the zone. Now we're getting a pullback, and then we'll look for that continuation. Okay. So if we, let's look at it like this. There we go. Right. Those are sub fibs to the upside as we're mapping this move up, and we're down at a 618 retracement level. Right. So a beautiful pullback there. And so now we're just looking for price to turn over and continue that move to the upside. Ultimately, that matching D extension on that sub fib is in line with the 618 retracement off of that 15-minute fib there. Right. So there's a little bit of confluence for us as far as that move to the upside. As long as price doesn't take out the A, look for it to turn over and start making that move back to the upside there. Okay. Off that break of the cloud, right? At its highest, it was up 27 pips, right? That that 618 retracement is 50 pips to the upside on the 15. So it's a nice intraday, multiple day trade for this week that I'm actually in and looking forward to continue to move to the upside. All right. So any questions on that Aussie New Zealand?
No.
No. Okay. Sweet. The Aussie yen. Where are we at? There we go. The Aussie yen. So daily. Let me take this other fib out. There we go. From a daily time frame perspective, right? We had this 236 retracement, right? Didn't quite get to that 382, and now we're pushing back above this daily level that we broke through here, right? Trying to push back above it. And with that news last night for the yen, right, price started to turn back to the upside and really push higher. Okay, so we come here to the 4, and we're just ranging here on the 4, right? We got a 50% retracement, right? So this we're looking for potentially a deeper move, but we could, because of the yen, we could start to see these pairs turn over and start pushing to the upside. All right, we got that 50% retracement here. The matching D extension is quite a ways away, but if we start breaking these levels, and we could see that continue to ride. So we'll watch this yen and see how things continue to transpire here. On the 1, right, again, another 50% retracement, price pushing to the upside, right, on the move pretty good. When we come down to the 15, pull that out. What am I missing here? 1 second, everybody. Was that move to the upside on the 1, Benny? Didn't we have a retracement on this Aussie yen?
Give me 1 second. Let me take a look at it.
I thought we were looking at a retracement there. Let's see. That's there. We're on the fib down. AB boundary moving to the upside. This one might have been just looking long. I thought we had a retracement here, but anyway, let's move to the upside. All right. If we run sub fibs from the low,
we did. That's it. That's it right there.
This is it right here. Right here. I think we got that move.
Now let me. So
I think it was this move right here. We retested that daily level, just wicked the 382. We just wicked the 382 here, and we're looking for potentially another push to the downside.
Right? My fids are coming off of 88 17.
88 17.
If you on the Aussie end, you're on the 1, right? Oh, you're on the 15. I'm on the 1. Is where the 80-20 was. It's now reversing and getting long against the Aussie.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay. Yeah, that was that move last week down.
Okay. Right.
Yep. So we're looking for that reversal and price pushing to the upside, which we're getting. Okay. I don't know why I thought we had a shorter term 80-20 on that. My bad, everybody. But we got that nice 50% retracement, right? And price is turning over, starting to make its way to the upside. All right, which is in line with Bank of Japan, right, and price moving against these yens, right? So that one's on the move off of. We got a 1 hour cloud break here, right, and we're pushing to the upside, bullish cloud ahead. Okay, so that one's moving. Okay, so if we track it here, matching D extension is there, then we'll look for a pullback and a continuation to the upside. All right, so beautiful move there. Just getting started. Just getting started. So off the low, we're looking at 66 pips into that move. Okay. But this was the 80-20 that came last week. Beautiful play to the downside, right? And then we got that reversal. Okay. Anybody take this one to the upside here? Clearly, I missed it.
I'm not in it.
No, me either. Me either. All right, cool deal. Aussie dollar. Talked about those retracements on these dollar crosses, right? So come here to the daily, push down to that 786 retracement level, trying to test this daily support at 66,868, right? Looking for see if we get a retracement out of this to come back at least to test this bearish candle here, potentially even deeper, right? Depending on how deep that dollar retracement, that DXY retracement goes. All right, so continue moving down. Beautiful 80-20, right? Coming out of January, pushing down the first few weeks of February, right? Beautiful move to the downside there. On the 4, we got a 618 retracement in line with that daily support level. Price is trying to give us a double bottom look here, right? So we'll see if price starts to turn over to the upside. Whoops. As we get down to the 1, okay, we already got a 50% retracement on this push, right? But price is stalling a bit. And again, we're looking for that retracement on the DXY. So that would correlate with the retracement here on this Aussie dollar, right? And this is that previous consolidation zone, right? And that bearish candle that we're looking for price to come back and retest, right? And this is that zone right there, okay? So I'll drop that to the 15. And all right. Appreciate that, smart trader. Let's take this out. We'll add it back. There we go. So we'll link all of this down. All right. So here on the 15, we got fibs running to the downside here. Boom. All right. Just shy of that 118, 127 zone, right? Would love to see if we got another push to the downside to really get into that zone and test that daily support level. But we're ranging here, right? So we'll watch to see if we do get that last push before we get this retracement, right? But ultimately, we're looking for a retracement here out of that zone, back up 50%, 618 zone, 618 retracement on this Aussie dollar. All right, so we're just in some consolidation right now. Drop the cloud on, and you see price is just moving, or the cloud is moving through price currently. Right, so just that consolidation that generally we see in this B boundary 118, 127 zone off that shallow retracement. Okay, so continue watching this one. Right, it hasn't fully developed yet, but on a higher time frame, trying to give us this double bottom type scenario here on the 15, more of a triple bottom, like so. Right, but looking for this one to move to the upside nonetheless. So just be patient and allow it to develop. Okay, allow it to develop. So that's the Aussie dollar. Not a lot of movement necessarily there. Okay. Questions here? No?
No.
Sweet. All right. On to the CAD yen. This is one that we've been watching for quite some time, and it is on the go. It is on the go. Finally, right? Shallow retracement of 118, 127 zone on the daily. We got that break, and then we got the pullback to test that daily support level, right? Now we're pushing back to the upside. Okay. Gonna come into this daily 101, 190. And we'll see how price responds there. We see we got consolidation previously. We'll see if that occurs again. But at the end of the day, price is moving to the upside out of this 118, 127 zone beautifully, right? Already at 499 pips. Total to that 382 is 793. Okay. So looking for that to continue to the upside with some retracements in between. We'll come down to the 4. Okay. Tag the D extension, and we're continuing to rise. Continuing to rise. So we'll see how price responds at this daily level at 101, 190. All right. That's the level I got my eyes on. We come here to the 1, right? And on the 1 is where we had the 80-20. Okay. This is where we had the 80-20. And when we mapped it out, we said we'll see if we're able to break back below this daily level. And we weren't able to, right? We retested that level and then price took off. Okay. And we're looking at it here to see if price was to make its way back down to complete that. And obviously with the news coming out of Japan, right? CPI, price is still pushing to the upside. So with these yen crosses, we could see price just continue to run against them. Okay. So as we see these 80-20s develop, we want to make sure that we play them with caution and we're not over indexed on any of those in favor of the yen, right? Because they could continue to run. They could continue to run. So we'll have to watch them closely. We'll have to watch them closely as things develop. Okay. And make sure that we get all of our confirmations and maybe even a couple extra pieces of confirmation to validate a retracement in some of these scenarios. All right. So on this one, we'll see what happens when we get to this 1 hour D extension, right, in this daily level here. Before we make any decisions, right? But price is moving in a strong way to the upside right now. So we'll likely get to this D extension and not get to that 382 on the 1. All right. Let's come down. I just want to look at the 15 real quick. Yeah. So we got a nice separation of the cloud. Price is moving nicely to the upside, almost at that 15-minute D extension, which is also in line with that daily resistance, right? So looking at price continuing to ride at least to these levels, and then we'll see what happens when we get there. All right. But that one's moving to the upside there. Okay. Questions on this CAD yen?
No.
Nope. All right. The Swissy yen. 2 safe haven plays. All right. So here on the daily, right, I just drew in the manual fib there. Once it pops in, it'll be there. But currently, price is back to retesting this daily level, right? This was the daily D extension that we hit right here, right? Now price is back at testing this daily resistance level, okay? Back at testing that daily resistance level. So we want to see is if price stays below this level, right? Does price stay below this level? We had this nice retracement last week, and then price pushed back to the upside, okay? On the 4, we're still in that 80-20 scenario. Okay, still in the 80-20 scenario. Had a nice bullish candle, not able to break above that level. Now we got a bit of indecision on this new candle. So we want to watch this one just to see, okay? To see if we stay below this level. Now, if we break above, right, we're headed to the D extension. Most likely. Right? So be aware of that as we watch this one develop. Okay. If we break above this 145.903, likely headed to that D extension, then we'll get a reset. All right. But if we get this double top to form and we get a swing high, right, then we can look for that retracement to continue. Okay. So come down to the 1. See that double top a little more clearly there. Even on the 1, wasn't able to close above that daily resistance level. We're getting a bit choppy right now. Okay. And there's 80-20 on the 1. Okay. So the move last week was a nice one, right? Out of that 118 and 127 zone at its lowest point, it gave us 200 pips, right? So in these scenarios, you want to make sure that you manage your trade and at least move your stop loss into profit as price starts moving in your favor. And then we got a reversal here, right? And in this reversal, we had a little bit of crown action that occurred. Right? So we had that crown reversal, came back to that daily level. Now we'll see if we get price to reverse back out and continue that move to the downside. Okay. So we're just ranging right now on the Swissy yen in this 118, 127 zone. Okay. Top of the range. Let's see if we get back to the bottom of the range, and then we'll monitor things to see if we get the break in continuation. Okay. So that's on you one. We got a lot of confluence at this daily level. It just might take a bit, right, for this one to fully develop and give us what we're looking for. Okay. On the 15, we got a similar story. Right? Just stalling in that 118, 127 zone. Okay, so we'll continue to watch this one, right? We're above the cloud now on the 15, right? Again, if we're able to stay below this, and we get that break of the cloud, maybe even we wait for the lagging span to break the cloud as well as that additional piece of confirmation for this move to be started to the downside, along with a Kumo twist and our TK crossover and price breaking the cloud too. All right. So this one I'm watching closely to see if we get all of those confirmations to the downside. Okay. This one, you got two safe haven plays. Yeah. The yen is on the downside. We'll see if anything happens with the Swissy at any point if they step in and make any random announcements. What they stated back in December hasn't necessarily happened yet as far as intervening in the market. So we'll watch and continue to see how this one develops. But I have my eyes closely on this one to see if we do get this continuation to the downside here. Okay. Questions on Swissy yen? Nope. All right. The Euro Aussie. On the daily, right? We're trying to break above this weekly level. Okay. Yesterday we came in, pulled back a little bit. Now trying to break above, we got a little bit of indecision right now, right? So we'll see from a daily and weekly time frame perspective if we are able to close above that level or not, right? At 157, 476, right? If we do stay above, right, we could see this one continue to rise. We talked about the strength of the euro and the hawkishness of the ECB. All right, so we come in here to the 4, right? And that's been on the move to the upside, right? Very little retracement in this last leg up, but we weren't able to stay below this level. Okay, so we'll see if we retest and then continue, or if we come back down. So that's something I want to watch closely there. Come into the 1, and here's where we have an 80-20 scenario. All right, shallow retracement. Price pushed into the 118 and 127 zones. What we're looking for price to do, right? Pushed a bit higher, didn't stay below that level. So we'll see if we're able to come back below that and continue that move to the downside, right? This is the one that we had the conversation. JC's not on this morning, but conversation in the Discord channel last night, right? About the bias on this Euro Aussie. Okay. So we want to see if we break back below this level, right, for that continuation down in this 80-20 scenario to play out. All right. So continue watching this one. I'll drop down to the 15 here in a second and see what it looks like there. That's our TP1 and that's our TP2. Okay. Down on a 15. On our 15, we also had an 80-20 scenario, shallow retracement, price pushed into the 118-127 zone. We got a break of the cloud here, but price reversed and continue pushing to the upside. Okay. You scared of this one, Joy?
Chef Swiss.
Chef Swiss. Okay.
I mean, Chef JPY. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah. No, that one's definitely always interesting. This 80-20 on the 15 didn't play out, right? We pushed to the D extension. We got a fresh AB boundary. Now we're getting this retracement. All right. So again, let's watch to see. And even on the 15, we can use this as a confirmation. If we get the bearish cloud, price to break the cloud, right? TK crossover, that could be our confirmation, because that would also be below that 157, 476 level, right? So that could be some additional confirmation that we get of this 80-20 potentially playing out to the downside, right? And us breaking back below that level to get us to at least at 382. Okay. So we want to see something like that happen and then continue down. Right. So same thing here on the 15. Retest backside of that level and potentially the bottom of the cloud, and then see that continuation short. Okay. So we're still monitoring this one to push higher in the zone. Let's continue to watch it and make sure we get our confirmation there to the downside. 154.062. You long on this, Joy? Yep. All right. Hey, that's beautiful. 154. Hey, that's awesome. That's great work there. That overall swing to the upside. 360. Great work. Great work on the long, right? And if you look at this from a longer term perspective, it is. Right? 786 retracement, right? We're long. Short term, we're looking for a retracement to ultimately get back long, right? But we broke out of this consolidation zone, so we're looking at price potentially coming back to retest, maybe, right? If we're able to get the retracement to occur. But overall, price is moving to the upside. And then if you come higher, right? If you come into the weekly, here's your 80-20 on the weekly, right? We're making those higher lows and higher highs. So if we do get that retracement, ultimately, we're looking at potentially, we'll see if we get all the way back up here. It's a long ways to go, but it's the 80-20 on the weekly time frame starting to play out in our favor. Right? So that's great work, Joy. Great work to the upside. All right. That's what we're looking at. Pullback, right? Low price to then be able to get back long in favor of that euro. All right. So that's where we sit there. Euro CAD. So here, let's go back to the weekly real quick. So on the weekly time frame, we're hovering in this 118, 127 zone, right? Rejected off this weekly resistance, pushed down, and we're kind of hovering a little bit, right? Kind of hovering a little bit on the weekly time frame. So we want to see, are we able to break down and get below 142? Right? Are we able to get below 142, or do we push back to the top of the range and test that 146, 383 again? Okay. On the daily, we got this B boundary range that we're playing in, right? Strong push down, that support level held, right? But we weren't able to break above these daily resistance levels. And now we got some indecision here on the day to day, right? So again, we want to see, are we able to turn over and break the support level. Okay. So we come here to the 4. And we got this 80-20 within that range. All right. So the question is for me is simply, do we stay below these levels? Do we stay below these levels, and are we able to break down and make that move to the downside? Right. So we'll get down to the lower time frames and look to see if we have some confirmation of price turnover to press down. But that's what I'm looking for here. Right. We're testing that daily level again. Want price to start breaking down, and then would love to see that 142.334 get broken, right, to give that confirmation of a continuation to the downside. Ultimately, just getting a low price to then get long in favor of the euro. Okay, so we'll come here to the 1, and this is the range. That's a short-term range there, but right, that's the overall play there on the 1. Right, that was just a shorter-term fib. Take that out, which ultimately we did have. Nope, that pushed down. Clear that out. And that's where we sit, right? That's where we sit. If we drop the cloud on here on the 1, right, we see just moving through. Just moving through price. Ooh. Right, we're trying to push back down off those highs, right, out of the top of the shorter term range here. All right, we have that double bottom, price pushed up, right, double top scenario. Now price is trying to make its way back down. So come down to the 15. I want to look to see. Right, so here on the 15 is where I want to, personally, is where I'm looking to get my confirmation for this move to the downside. Right, I want to see bearish cloud ahead. I want price to break below the cloud. Right, and we already got our TK crossover there. Right, so we could range a bit more here before I get the confirmation that I'm looking for on this move to the downside. Even though we're at the top of the range, right? Even though we're at the top of the range here. But I'm looking for this to give me those, so we could get another push to the upside, bounce off the cloud, right? And then see if we get something nice off that retracement. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for there on this Euro CAD. But ultimately, we're looking for price to move to the downside in the short term. Okay. Let's see. Shall see. We shall see. Yeah. Any questions on this Euro CAD? That's what we're looking for.
No.
Cool deal. Is Euro Yen. Man, this one pushed up. I was looking for this one to get short. Let's see. Let's do a fresh markup on this one real quick. I cleared out my chart last night. So we'll do a fresh markup on this Euro Yen. See what transpired. All right. So get our highs in. And our lows. Like so. All right, we'll drop in support and resistance there. All right. That's on the monthly, right? And we see Price is pushing to the upside in a strong way. Pushing to the upside in a strong way. All right. So we'll see if we get a retracement at any point. But that's on the monthly time frame. So we'll link these down to the lower, pull those off. Come here to the weekly. Drop these in real quick. There, support there, and that one's out the way. All right, so that's where we are from a weekly time frame perspective. And like looking at it here, we're still at the top of this range, right? We're still at the top of this range. So we'll see at any point, do we come back down? We may not. We may not. But still at the top of the range, pushing back to test this weekly level at 146,700. Okay. We'll see if we continue riding to the upside there. All right. So we'll take these weekly levels down. Like so. All right. Now to the daily. Similar deal, right? We'll see that push through the zone here. Okay. There. Oops. Didn't lock it. Support there. Support level there and the support level there. All right. So we got those levels in. Now I want to look at it from a fib perspective here on the daily. All right. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to run the fib off the low. And here we did get right? We did get the 618 retracement level. Okay. Now price is pushing to the upside, right? We got some levels to break through, but we could ultimately be headed to 158 at some point. We'll see what happens at the top of the range here. Okay. This was a resistance level right here, right? But we broke through that level and we're pushing higher. Okay. So now we come down. We know we're in the up push zone, right? And price is still pushing to the upside. We come down to the 4. Actually, got to bring these daily levels down. Like so. All right. Now down to the 4. All right. We'll take support resistance off. And you see that thing is just running to the upside. All right. So here, come down to the low. I'm going to run them from here. See where they land us. Okay. We got a 382, right? And price is trying to push. 4-hour D extension is just above that monthly at 149. All right. So got some levels to watch. It's been a long drawn out move, but we also know that we've been ranging here for quite some time. Right. So now my question is, do we press this weekly level before we get a retracement? All right. So this has been a long drawn out move. All right. So I'm going to pull these out for a second and look at the fib off the high. All right. And we'll look at the sub fib here, and we're pressing the 8.6 retracement level. Okay. Coming into the 8.6 retracement level. Been super choppy, but we're pressing back up. So if we break that level, obviously we take out the A and our fib gets flipped, right? And it'll look like this. All right, that's the fib there. Smaller wave to the upside. So we're pushing north. Okay. Pushing north, 8-6 retracement or 7-8-6 retracement right now, potentially getting to that 8-6 retracement zone. Okay. So we'll see if we get a push down before we continue heading north, but right now it's bullish. Okay. So we'll come down to the 1, and we were looking at potential 80-20 here. Or we're looking at an 80-20 here. All right. We're looking at an 80-20 here. Shallow retracement, 118 to 127 zone. Price temporarily did move in our favor last week, right? And we got price to push back up, right, into that zone, but then price just continued to run to the D extension. Okay. Price continued to run to the D extension. So those are out. Right. Now we got a new fib to the upside. Okay. So we'll watch this new fib to see if it continues to run. Right. If it continues to run, take out that A on the 4, get to the D extension on the 1, or do we get a retracement first? All right. Took 2,000 Rand. I dig it. I dig it. So we'll see. We'll see. Right. I had my stop at the D. I got stopped out on this one, which is cool. Not a problem. Right. Now we look for the next opportunity. Okay. Now we look for the next opportunity. So here, right, that's your first AB boundary. Do we get that retracement now? Right.
Those zeros are super bullish, man. I expect them to stay long.
They are, man. They are.
Yeah.
They are. I'm looking at them to stay long too. Yeah. Or do we get something like that? Right. And continue to push.
Yeah, those are long. I'm looking for corrections and continuation on those.
Yeah.
You got the super bullish ECB, right? So it's just fitting that narrative right now.
Yep.
Across the board on most of the euros.
I am in agreement, bro. I'm in agreement. Right. So that's what we're looking at there, right? That one didn't play out in our favor, right? But the euro was bullish, and with the yen being the yen, right, is running. It's running. All right. So again, if you decide to play any of these, if they come into your zone, play them with caution, right? And use extra confirmation. Okay. Bullish on the euro. Questions here on this euro yen? Nope. All right. Sweet. All right. We're gonna wrap it up there, right? Didn't get through all of them. We got GA and then the dollar pairs that we didn't get through off the hot list, but got through most of them. Any questions on anything that we covered this morning? No. Nope. Not yet. All right. Cool deal. Benny, you got anything before we wrap it up, bro?
No, sir. Great session. Just look forward to seeing everybody tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, sir. All right, good people. Have an awesome day. We'll see you tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.
Thank you.
You're welcome.